I want you to listen to the story of this young lady who took a blood covenant with a man and it ended wrongly. Don't look at me because I know some of you are guilty of this same thing. Let's listen to her story.
So on Sunday in church, and the pastor gave me back seat, and they said they handed me over to Satan.
I don't understand. Please, can you repeat that again?
He gave me a back seat in church. He said
The pastor
I
gave
did
you
something.
Hold on. The pastor gave you
back seat.
Back seat.
Yes.
Because of what you did.
Yes.
And then what?
And they prayed. He prayed. He said he handed me over to Satan.
To Satan?
Yes.
To do what with you?
I don't know. That was what they said. Then I was supposed to be coming to the church every day to sweep the church. Whether the church is dirty or not, I must come and I must sweep the church. That was my punishment.
That was a form of punishment?
Yes, that was my punishment.
Back seat, yes. Handing you over to Satan and sweeping the church.
Yes.
Before we continue that story, listen. You're on Story Time with House of the Sons Global, where we talk about relationship and marriage and family stories. Be part of this and tell us about that marriage story that can open people's eyes. Tell us about that relationship that you know that people can learn something from. Tell us about that family story that can help people to put their family in order. Do not be afraid. If you want to make your own story private, I got you covered. If you want to make it an open call, take this number on the screen and contact me on WhatsApp, and boom, you're here with us on Story Time with House of the Sons Global. If you don't want people to know that you're the one calling, we can change your voice from something like this
to something like this, and no one will know that you are the one calling.
We can as well blur your number that nobody will see your number. So, nothing is stopping you from being part of Story Time with House of the Sons Global. Remember, we take WhatsApp voice call and WhatsApp video call. Now, let's continue the story. Hello.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. You're welcome to Story Time with House of the Sons Global. Please, what is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Blessing and I'm calling from Lagos State, Nigeria.
All right, thank you so much, Blessing from Lagos State. I heard a little about your story. It has a lot to do with blood covenant.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please, can you tell us your story? We are listening.
Okay, sir. This story happened a long time ago, about should be up to 10 years now, or 8 years. So when I was much younger.
Okay.
So the case has been resolved, but I think it's going to go a long way in teaching our youth and some naive teenagers a lesson on how to go about their lives.
Okay. It's something that happened like 10 years back when you were still a teenager.
Yes.
Okay. All right, please go ahead and tell us your story.
Okay, so I met this guy when I was out of secondary school already. I was actually learning something, a skill, when I met him. So he was from my state. So we got talking. He came to my house, he met my parents. Told my parents he was from our state. So because of the state relationship, he became a family friend. So the both of us started dating, though my parents weren't aware at first. So one day on my birthday, he came up with a covenant talk, a blood covenant talk. So at first I said no, because I didn't really know anything about it. But when he kept talking about that day, he left angrily. He came to our house. My parents weren't around when he started it. He even came with a razor blade. So I refused. because I didn't really know much about it, and I didn't have the guts to meet my parents to tell them about it because then my father was the strict man. I don't dare go to him. I don't even talk to him about anything. We are not close. We are not friends. We don't talk. We don't relate. So I couldn't go to him to ask him anything or tell him anything about my personal life. My mom too, she was just so quiet. She stays on her own. She doesn't really discuss much with us. So I didn't still have the boldness to meet her to tell her about it. So everything I did and the decision I took it on my own and according to my own knowledge as at then. So
All right.
because he left
Hold on.
angrily.
Hold on, please. I want to get something here. The guy came to your parents' house to introduce himself
Yes.
as someone from the same state with you.
Yes.
Okay. When he came with you, and your parents know that he came with you.
No, he didn't come with me.
Okay.
They were working. He's working with them. All this road construction, and during that, and they are working in front of our house. They are working on the road in front of our compound. So, because he normally comes to work, all of us normally talk, including my parents. We just joke, workers, people that are working and people that are living around, stuff like that. So, jokingly, he asked, "Now, where are you from?" I told him the state. He was like, "I'm from that state. I think I should come and meet your parents and tell them that I'm from." We are all sisters. We are all family. We are from the same state. So that was how he started. That was how he came. He introduced himself. My father already knew him as someone that walks around there. So he just came, introduced himself, that he works here. My father said, "Yes, I know." He said, "Okay." I asked the other said, people are from so and so place. I'm also from that place. So that was how he introduced himself. And he didn't come with me.
Okay. Okay, let me get this. You said something that your dad is strict and your mom, she doesn't really say much. And when this young man came up with the idea of the covenant, you have no person to talk to about that or relate that with. What about your
Nobody.
siblings, your friends? Nobody around apart from your parents?
Well, I don't really have a friend because my dad doesn't like friends thing. So I only do my friends in school, and my friends then are still my age mates. So, about my siblings, we are all young. I am the eldest one. So you can see I'm still a young girl then, so my siblings should be too young to even know anything about it.
Okay. Go ahead. When he came up with the idea of the covenant, go ahead.
Okay, when he came up with that idea, at first I said no because I didn't really know anything about it. And then he got angry. He came with my birthday gift that day. He got angry, he left. Then the next day, he called me, so I decided, okay, if this is going to be an issue, because already he has told me about marriage, but he said he's going to wait because he knows my dad will not accept that marriage of a thing that time. So he said he was going to wait until I'm done with my skill work, learning of the skill. Then he can now proceed with the marriage talk. Though he later came up with the marriage talk after some months of the covenant. So
Okay, hold on. Hold on. He came up with the marriage after some months of telling you about the covenant.
Yes,
okay.
But the covenant was done a day after my birthday. That very birthday, a day after it.
Wait, he left on the day of your birthday because you refused to engage in the covenant.
Yes.
And tomorrow What happened? How did you call him to come back, or he came back talking to you again the next day before the
Yeah,
covenant?
the thing was, he refused talking to me. He was angry, and I was still angry at myself because he was a friend that I think I never had. He was someone I talked to, laugh with. The only person that my father can comfortably allow to come to our place. All of us will sit down, joke, talk, then he will go. So I felt bad that I got him angry, and now nobody will be coming around to talk with us, gist with us, because my dad doesn't allow anybody around.
Okay.
So I called him. I told him, okay, I'm sorry, and if it's the covenant, fine. I don't really know anything about it, but I don't think it matters, and I don't think it's going to be something bad because we are not killing anybody. I'm not killing anybody, and I'm not stealing from anybody, so it's not something bad.
Okay.
So he said it's nothing bad.
Okay.
He said it's nothing bad. He just told me the rules. That it's just that he wants to use it to trust me. Without it, he's not going to trust me. Since I was a virgin, and he doesn't want to touch me. Blah blah blah. He said so many things that he wanted to wait after wedding, and for him to be sure that no other person is going to go there before him. He wants a covenant to happen.
Okay. He wanted by the time of this talk, you were still a virgin.
Yes.
And he wanted to use the covenant to hold you down so that no other person will see you.
That was what he said. That's the only thing that will make him trust me or believe me. I tried telling him that I've been that way even before he met me. So what makes him think that I'm going to break it after meeting him? But he didn't believe me. So I said, okay, if that is the case, I don't really have issues with anybody. So let's go on with it. So the covenant happened.
It happened. You took it as nothing. You didn't call it anything.
Yes.
Okay, let me ask you one more question before you continue. From the time you met the guy, not from the time you're seeing him around, but from the time he came to introduce himself to your parents, to the time of the covenant, what is the space? How many years or months?
I can't really remember, but I don't think it was up to a year.
Everything happened within a year?
Yes.
Okay, continue, please.
Or months, just months.
Months. Continue, please.
So, after the covenant, we continued our lives. So, he was able to trust me. He went about his work because their work is they're moving from one state to another. They don't normally stay in one state. And him himself, he wasn't staying in the area. He wasn't living in the area where I was. He was living in a different state, far away from where I was. So after the blood covenant issue, he was able to trust me. So he left for his work. I continued with my skill. So we went that way for months. Whenever he's around, he will come around to my parents' place. We'll stay, we'll talk, we'll gist. Everybody, he will go. But he started abusing me somehow. That if somebody says hello, or if a patient takes my number, that's where I'm working. If someone takes my number, okay, I want you to do this or do this, or okay, let me hold your number in case if there's anything, I'm going to call you to ask you. Nothing, just nothing. Either work issue or just someone I'm just friends with. Immediately he sees that number is a problem. He's going to beat me up. He's going to say all manner of things. He beats me with belts. He's going to beat me with belts. He asked me to come and visit him because they stay around our side. I'll come. I won't even know it's because of it. He will just beat me because he knows he cannot beat me in my father's house. So he will beat me. He will ask me all manner of questions. And after that, I will still come back home and I will not talk. I will not say anything to anybody because I was afraid of talking to my father. I don't know who else to talk to, so I just kept it to myself. Even to the point that one day he used a knife to chase me around because he saw somebody's number in my phone. He broke my SIM card, destroyed my phone.
Wait.
So it kept going on that way.
Hold on, please. All these things were happening. There was nobody around for you to talk to. Nobody.
I was so scared of talking to anybody. Nobody. I didn't have any friend. The friends I had were at school. And by that time I was done with secondary school. I was learning skills. So we don't normally meet together to talk because my father will not allow me to go out.
Your father?
So I don't really have anybody.
Your father really, oh God. This is why parents fail at times, fail to bring their children close. And I want to get something here. When you said that the young man left your house on the day of your birthday because you refused to engage in the covenant, and let me ask you, what made you call him back? Because I felt maybe you have no one around, you talk to nobody, you saw him then as the only friend you had, so you really want to connect back to him. As long as this is the only person your father allows to come around, so you see him as a savior who can help you, pull you out of that shackle, that kind of a bondage of not going out. Do I call it bondage of incommunicado? You can't talk to anyone. You are not allowed to express yourself. You're not allowed to have friends. You don't even talk to your parents. Since that young man was the only person coming around that your father allowed to talk to you, was that the reason why you kept going on with him like that?
Yes, I was afraid of losing a friend.
Oh, and you called him a friend? The only...
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Can you just continue, please? He says something, he chases you around, he beats you. Okay, he said that he engaged in that covenant with you for him to trust you. Why is he then not trusting you even after the covenant, that he beats you and all that? Why? Did you ask him?
I didn't really ask him because I didn't have the guts to, because of the way he was treating me. And I didn't really ask him. I just flowed with it. All I did was he broke my SIM card, changed it. If you see any strange number, he's still going to break it. He kept breaking my SIM card. I just kept changing line. And when I will be asked, I will tell them I lost my SIM card or they blocked my SIM card. I will just keep changing SIM cards. It went on that way.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Sorry I'm cutting you off. Your dad, as of that time or even before that time, tell me more about how you relate with your dad. Does he normally beat you, maltreat you and stuff like that at any little fault?
Well, then I took it that he hates me because of the way he treated me. I didn't really relate with him. I don't talk with him. If I hear his voice that is coming back from work, I'll just go and lie down, pretend as if I'm sleeping, or hide myself. I wouldn't come out until he calls me.
Really? Okay. When that young man was...
I spoke to my father.
You say?
The only way I spoke to my father is through letters.
Tell me this. The only way you spoke to your dad when you were a teenager is only through letter. How? Can you explain, please?
If there's something I want to talk to him about that I'm so afraid of, because I'm just afraid of everything, I just write it on a letter, keep it for him on his table before he returns to work, then expect anything that will come out of it.
Serious? Anything you want to talk to me about, you have to write it.
Most of them, except the ones I know I can go through my mom, talk to my mom will get it for me.
Serious? Okay. let me ask you, when that young man was beating you, do you see the picture of your dad in his life? Do you see him, when you look at him, do you see your dad in him?
Well, I think he's worse.
Worse than your father?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Continue the story, please.
So it kept on like that. He introduced me to his siblings. He had more other siblings. They were just male and female. He introduced me to his siblings, to his father, as a woman he wants to marry. So we kept on that way. He told my father he wants to marry me. He came to my father. He told him he wants to marry me. My dad told him not yet until I finish with my skills, and that he's going to look into it and see if it is something that will work. So we continued that way. He was still coming to our house as a family friend and as someone that wants to marry me. So we kept on that way till after some months, I think around 6 months or 7 months after the covenant, he called me one day. I was in the church. He called me. He was crying on phone very early. We were doing Sunday school in church. He called me. I was like, what is it? He was crying and crying and crying and pleading and pleading. I was confused. I was asking him, what is it? What is the problem? Why are you crying? What is going on? Because he traveled to the state where he was living. He was far away from my own state where I was.
Okay.
So I was asking him, what is it? Is there any problem? What is going on? So he started crying and pleading, asking me to forgive him, that my blood that is in his body is affecting him. He was just crying and crying and crying. I said, what is it? Okay, tell me, what is it? So he said he made a mistake, that he went to buy clean that morning that he was going to use to wash. So on getting there, the lady that was selling the clean wasn't in the shop. So he went inside to go and check for the girl, to go and call the girl. He was calling the girl. The girl wasn't responding. So he went inside the house to call the girl to come and sell the thing for him. So when he got there, he saw her naked. I don't really know what happened. Then he started calling. He was pleading and pleading that he's choking, that his throat is drying up. I should forgive him. I should have mercy. And I was like, I don't have anything against it. And even that time, it was just, the whole thing was just somehow to me. I don't really know there's something like that. And I was just surprised. I was like, I don't have anything against you. I'll forgive you. I don't have anything against you. Please. So he ran to the church where they prayed for him.
Hold on. He entered the girl's apartment and saw the girl not putting on her clothes.
Yeah.
Did he tell you that they did anything?
He didn't really explain more. He just told me he saw the girl naked. I don't know.
And
I can't remember every other thing
he
that
was
he
shocking.
said. That was just...
He was shocking.
Yes.
They
I
must
think
have,
he went
they must
to the
have done
girl.
something.
I don't know.
They must have done something. And that was
So
why
that
he
was why.
called you to plead for your forgiveness.
So that was what happened. He pleaded. He went to the church because that was a Sunday morning. They prayed for him.
In his church, where he was?
He ran to one of the churches around there where he could run to at that moment.
Okay.
So they prayed for him. At the evening, he called me that he's getting better. I said, okay. So after that incident, it didn't happen again. So we kept on moving on. I didn't take it as anything and I didn't tell anybody.
Okay, sorry. When he called you to ask for your forgiveness, what did you tell him?
I told him I forgive him because I don't really see anything as in. I was just like, what is he even saying? What is he talking about? I don't understand anything.
Because
he didn't
even know the effect, what the blood covenant can actually do to anyone.
Yes, he just told me that it's just for him to trust me, blah blah blah. So there was nothing. I didn't really take it to be anything big like that. So when he just told me that, I said, I don't know what you're talking about. Please, I don't want anything to happen to you. I'll forgive you. I don't have anything against you. So
Okay.
that was it.
All right. Continue.
So it went on. So he stopped. He never did it again. He never made that mistake ever again. So we continued. It kept going on, kept being friends. So until one particular month in church, because I don't miss Sunday school in church, they started teaching about covenant. So it was going on. Several types of covenant was taught. So at first I was okay. I was listening. But when they kept going deeper and deeper, I started being uncomfortable.
Really?
Every Sunday I'll come to church, I'll go outside and sit because I don't want to hear it because it keeps making me uncomfortable. All my body will just be so uncomfortable on hearing the teaching. Before it wasn't anything, but I started hearing those Sunday school teaching about it. It kept troubling my spirit, making me restless. I can't relax, I can't think, I can't do anything. So I had to tell one evangelist I normally talk with. I have to summon courage. I thought over it for days or weeks before I was able to open up to him. I said, see, look at what happened. I didn't take it as anything, but after this on the school, I'm more relaxed. See. So he was very angry. He started shouting at me on phone.
Okay.
So that was when I knew that this is more serious than I think.
Okay.
He started shouting,
you
started
called.
talking.
You were not able to talk to the pastor one-on-one. You called him on phone.
Yes, he's not in my state where I was.
Okay.
But I know him. He's a minister and some years older than me. Not all that older. He's a young minister.
Okay. Let me ask
Though I
you.
was afraid to talk to him.
Okay. What happened? The change of mind started in your own church.
Yes, when I started hearing that teaching in Sunday school.
Okay. During this Sunday school teaching all the while, the person you called, was he around the church or someone elsewhere?
No, someone else.
Someone else. Okay,
elsewhere.
you call someone else.
In different states.
Different state.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I told him about it. He was angry. He was shouting at me. He said that he didn't expect it from me, that he's disappointed. A devoted child like me, why would I even fall victim of such? So I was telling him that I didn't really take it as anything. He just said he wanted to trust me. And that was what I just wanted. So trust me and let me live my life. Let me just be free. So I didn't really take it as anything. So when we started talking, that was when I knew something serious than I think. So he said I should go and tell my parents about it. So I said, no, I can't. My father will kill me. But I can't say anything to my father. So the teaching kept going. After talking to him, I could not. The teaching kept going. I was so disturbed that one day I just summoned courage and met my father. I can't remember if I met my father first, if I met the pastor in church. I can't remember, but I met my father. And he said he disowned me, that he's disappointed, that I disappointed him, that he has disowned me. I said after all the teaching, after everything, that I still went this far. I was trying to tell him that I didn't really understand it and I didn't take it as anything. And I had nobody to talk to about it. So, but he didn't listen. He chased me out of the house.
Wait.
Wait.
When you summoned courage, you spoke to your father first.
I think I spoke to him first. After he chased me out, then I went to meet our pastor in church.
Okay, he chased you out, disowned you, and you went to meet your pastor.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, please.
So I went to meet my pastor in church. I told him, I summoned courage because he himself was also strict. It was also a man I fear a lot. So I don't know how to meet him. So on that day I didn't know how to do. His wife was at home, so I just decided, okay, if his wife is around, let me just talk to him. his wife will be able to also assist me.
You are not also free with your pastor to talk to him?
No, my pastor, I'm so much afraid of him. Don't go close to anybody in church. I'm just on my own. So I went to him. I called the pastor and the wife. I said, look at go. Them themselves, they got angry. They were everybody was just so disappointed in me. That was when it got on me that I messed up. That I really messed up. That this is not something I should have done. So, but nobody was trying to tell me, okay, look at what you should do, or look at what you've done wrong. Everybody was just chasing me out. The pastor chased me out of his house. He said he's disappointed, so he chased me out. He said I should leave his house. And I told him my father chased me out. He told me I should leave his house. So I left. I went back home. I stood at the gate. So my mom went in pleading on my behalf.
Who? You said?
My mom went in pleading on my behalf because there was nowhere to stay.
Okay.
Yes, my father chased me out. The pastor chased me out. There was no other place. So I went back home, stood at the gate. My mother went in pleading on my behalf. She played till my father allowed me back inside the house. So after that, he said I should call the guy in question, that he wants to see him. He wants to know the reason why he lured me into that without telling him about it. So I called the guy. I didn't tell the guy about it. I didn't tell him I told my father, because assuming I told him, he wouldn't have come. So I told him, come around, just come around. He came around. So my father was already very angry. So my father couldn't allow him to relax. My father started asking questions. So the guy, my father told him that two of us should revoke what we did. The guy said no. He was only going to do it under one condition: if I get married to him.
Wait.
I was going to pay my bride price, do my traditional wedding. On the night before the wedding, I was going to revoke it.
Wait. He was saying this in front of your father?
Yes.
That he's not going to revoke it?
Yes,
Insisting.
And if he does, that he knows that my father will not going to accept.
Okay. That he's already aware that your father will not accept the marriage because of what he did.
Yes.
And he wants to use that.
Not going to accept.
Okay, he wants to use that to get what he wants, to marry you.
Yes.
And revoke it after the marriage.
A night before the wedding, that he knows that he cannot carry that one to go and enter another one on the altar. So he's going to wait a night before the wedding, that he's going to revoke it.
Serious. So what did your father do?
So my dad got angry and they started making noise. So people were coming, asking questions. It was just so bad that day. My dad got so angry that he had to chase him around. They ran around the whole community. He was chasing him around, even through the village market, and was calling him thief. That he wants to steal his daughter. Thief. So people grabbed him, thought he stole. They even want to beat him to death. They thought that he stole something. So he started shouting, no, he did not steal anything. No, he did not steal anything. No. So it was his shout that actually saved him. So when people now gathered and was like, what is it? What happened? He said he didn't steal anything. So my father said he wants to steal his daughter. They were asking him how? What happened? He started explaining. Everybody has gathered. The whole community, people have gathered. They were like, okay, what happened? What really happened? So he started explaining. The guy started explaining what happened. So everybody started telling my dad that he's not supposed to be calling him a thief, that they would have killed him thinking that he stole something. That is something that we should go in and resolve. So the guy, he refused coming in again. From there, he entered back and left. And that was the last time I saw him for that period. He didn't call. He only told me that if I want that thing to revoke, that I should tell my father to allow him to come and pay my dowry, do my traditional marriage. Then on the night after the wedding, before the wedding, that he's going to revoke it. So, and that was it. So on Sunday in church, and the pastor gave me back seats, and then he said they handed me over to Satan.
I don't understand. Please, can you repeat that again? What happened on Sunday?
He gave me a back seat in church. He said
the pastor
I
gave
did
you
something.
Hold on. The pastor gave you
back
back seat.
Back seat.
Back seat.
Yes.
Because of what he did.
Yes.
And then what?
And they prayed. He prayed. He said he handed me over to Satan.
To Satan?
Yes.
To do what?
So,
with you?
I don't know. That was what they said. And that was what happened. He said it's going to be about how many months? I think 3 months or around 3 months or 1 month. I can't really remember again. Then I was supposed to be coming to the church every day to sweep the church, whether the church is dirty or not. I must come and I must sweep the church. That was my punishment.
That was a form of punishment.
Yes, that was my punishment.
Back seat, handing you over to Satan and sweeping the church.
Yes.
Oh God. Okay.
So
go ahead.
I took it. I started, but I couldn't keep up with sweeping the church because of work. My work, I was supposed to go early in the morning, and I couldn't keep up, and it became a problem. He said I was disobedient. It was just so many things that was just happening. So
hold
after
on.
some time,
because of the time, you were asked to come every morning to clean the church, to sweep the church.
Yeah.
And that morning, every morning, you still have to go to work.
Yes.
So because of your work, you were unable to meet up cleaning the church all the time.
Yes.
And what happened after that?
It became a problem. He said I was disobedient. So many things just happened during that period. At a point, I said I don't want to go to church anymore. But looking at myself and my father, he will never allow me to stay at home. And if I should leave the house saying I'm going to church and I didn't go to church, he's still going to find out, because all of us are going to the same church. So I had no choice than to go. He wasn't really going with us because he has a place he normally go to church. But me, my siblings, my mother go to the same church.
Okay, your father goes to different church.
Going to tell him.
Your father goes to different church, and you and your mother and your siblings are going to different church.
Yes. Okay. So they are going to tell him whether I'm in church or not. So I didn't have any other choice than to continue. But when I just come, I just sit there doing nothing.
At the back of the church.
At the back, yes. So it continued till the week I was supposed to be called back into church. That week, I think my father gave me prayers to do. He said, "Okay, I'll pray with you. Let's pray."
Okay.
Let God turn his heart.
Your father said he was going to pray with you.
Yes.
Okay.
That God should turn the heart of the guy to come and undo what he did with me.
Okay.
So we entered into prayers, and that was the same week I was supposed to be called back, as in the back seat was supposed to be taken out from me, and they will pray for me and receive me back in church.
Okay.
So we kept praying. So on that day, during the church service, they called me in from the back seats. I'm no longer going to be sitting in the back. It is all over. They prayed for me in church. After praying for me, I was on my way back home. The guy called me, and he's ready to revoke the covenant.
Hold on. Your father prayed with you that the heart of the guy should be melted to come and revoke what he did. And the same week, the church released you from the punishment.
Yes.
And on your way going back,
he came.
You say?
The same week he came for
The same week,
for the
on your way going back
yes,
from the church, the guy called you.
yes.
Okay, let me ask a question, please. I'm trying to find out. I'm not being too inquisitive, okay? During the church prayer, were you, you said something like you were handed over to the Satan. So was the prayer directed, properly for you to be taken back from the Satan, kind of, reversing the prayer the way it
Yes.
was made?
Yes.
It was
Yes.
made that.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Continue. On your way, the guy called you.
Yes. Though before that, he has been calling and begging that he doesn't want to revoke it. He will come to my workplace, buy me gifts, buy me the latest phone, buy
Serious?
me anything. You just be coming with gifts. I should please that he doesn't want to revoke it. He loves me. He wants to marry me. I said, okay, if you want to marry, let's just undo this. I didn't really know what it was, and we entered it. Now that I know what it is, and that is against God and my faith, let's just undo it. Then we can proceed from there.
Okay.
He said no, that he knows that if he does it, that I will not agree. That I will not agree. That my people will not agree. I should beg my father. He kept coming and coming. I kept rejecting his gift. He kept coming and coming. He would drop gifts. He would go. He wouldn't want me to see him. He would just put apology letter, something like that. He kept doing it. So he brought one last time. Last time he came, he brought phone. He kept begging. He left the phone and left. So I packaged the phone. I kept it. I didn't touch it. I didn't use it.
And that was.
So that day.
And that was during the time you were under punishment.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that day that he called me, he said he's ready to undo what was done. That where is he going to meet me? I said, okay, you should hold on. Let me call my father. I called my father. My father told me where to come. I should tell him to come there too. So I called him. I said, okay, go to so place. I'm coming there to meet you. My father is there. He now said, okay, that he's going there. That I should make sure I bring that phone that he brought for apology.
Okay, he asked for the phone back.
Yes. I said, okay, no problem. That I will come back with it. That I'm coming with it. So I went to meet them there. I came, he came. He didn't talk to me. I greeted him. He was just angry. So we came. We revoked it in front of my father.
Okay.
He prayed for us.
Okay.
He prayed for us. I handed him, before we did the stuff, I handed him his phone back. Checked it. I didn't use it. It was just intact. So he prayed for us. And that was the last time I saw him till now.
Where exactly did your father ask you people to come? In the church or where?
In the church.
His own church or your own church?
Where he goes to church.
No, where he goes to church. Okay, in front of there, everything was undone, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, what about your own church? Did they get information that you have revoked the covenant?
Yes, yeah. The time they got to know.
Who told them? You or your father went to tell them?
I can't really remember. No, my dad didn't. I can't really remember. I think it's me. I think I told the pastor or my mom. I can't really remember. Or they knew. They knew it's over.
And that was the last time you saw the guy?
Yes, that was the last time I saw him. I never saw him again till today.
Serious?
Though I heard he was married with children, but I didn't see him. And he didn't. I don't know if he saw me, but I didn't see him again.
Okay, he married and nothing happened to him?
Yeah, he's married with children.
Okay. I heard you're married too?
Yes.
And nothing happened to you?
Yeah, nothing's going to happen to me too. I'm married.
Wow. God. All right. Is there another thing around the story you still want to tell us?
Nothing really, but I think I should still add one thing. so many things really happened to me in life. Or I'm just going to be saying few that I knew that would be something that will help our youth and teenagers to learn their lessons and know what they are going into in life and how to really act and behave and the choices they make.
Okay, you're actually talking about another story, right?
Yes, something different.
Okay, maybe we can conduct that next time. On this particular story of you, the covenant story, a lot, a lot. Do you actually know that a lot of people are actually in this, not knowing how to come out? Because I once heard a story.
I know.
Yeah.
I know of a lady that
Okay.
she's a grown up though. A grown up, I call her auntie. She told me that she said a story about a guy that she dated. The guy wanted to marry her, so the guy talked about covenant. Theirs were cola. They used cola.
Okay. Cola nut.
Yes, cola nut.
Okay.
Yes. They used cola and unfortunately the guy didn't eat the cola, but she ate hers after they spoke everything they spoke on the cola. The guy threw away his own without her knowledge.
No, hold on.
So
hold on. During the covenant, they held the cola and made some declarations.
Yes.
The lady ate hers and the guy tricked the lady and did not eat his own.
Yes. So the guy started living a reckless life.
Okay.
And became a womanizer. Started living, doing all sort of things. So
with other women. With other women.
Yes.
And nothing happened to him.
And nothing happened to him. So the woman was like, since he could go around without anything happening to him.
Okay.
Happening to him. So let her just go and do hers.
Okay.
When she went,
she wanted to continue her own life since the guy.
Yes, since
is not keeping the covenant.
Yes, I think she gave birth for the guy. I think like 2 children. So, but when she couldn't bear it again, she decided to leave. Since nothing is happening to the guy, so nothing will happen to her. But she didn't know that she got it wrong. That the guy didn't eat, but she ate. So when she went her way, it struck her.
Serious? Something happened to her?
Yes.
This is something else. Like I was about telling you, I knew of a lady. She once called me when I was talking to her in a counseling section. She said something. She's in abroad, and the guy is in Nigeria. They had covenant, and nothing has been going on between two of them after a long time, and she wanted to settle down, not knowing what to do. She wants it to be broken, and the guy is nowhere to be found. It was a serious trouble for her. She had to travel down to Nigeria looking for this guy. It took her a lot. Then we didn't continue talking. I didn't know if she later found the guys for the covenant to be broken. Oh God.
I heard so many things about so many people that did that. I know of a girl that she did it with someone and she didn't tell her parents. Someone came, paid her bride price.
Someone else?
Did a traditional marriage. So on the day of the wedding, when they were supposed to exchange vows, she refused and called off the wedding.
She did what?
She called off the wedding there. She refused to exchange the vows.
She allowed the wedding to go all the way to that point before calling it off.
Yeah.
She allowed traditional marriage. Allowed. Oh. All right. My sister, I just want to thank God for your life. I want to thank God because A lot of people engaged in this and ended wrongly. I thank God because your own story is in such a way that you were looking for a way to express yourself. You are looking for a way to break out of bondage of being caged by your parents, and you saw this man and you got connected with him, and all these things happened to you. This is why we tell parents at times to be careful. Draw your children close to you. Draw them close to you. Draw them close to you. Education starts at home. If you don't teach your children, people out there will teach them wrongly. And what they learn out there, it might go a long way to damage a lot of things in their life. Just like this young lady. Okay, let me ask you one last question, please. When you remember these things, just right now, when you remember these things, what is your mind telling you? Do you feel so sad? Do you still have, or kind of, do you have hatred for anyone? Maybe your dad for caging you and you trying to find a way to express yourself, and this happened to you. Do you feel bad seeing him and knowing that maybe he's a cause of all this? Because someone might say that your dad is the cause of this for not allowing you to express yourself, and your mom is there not really doing much. Because had it been you had relationship with your dad or close communication lifestyle with your parents, you would have related to them. It wouldn't have gone this far. Do you feel hatred, or how do you see things at this stage?
No, I don't feel hatred for my father.
Okay.
I love him.
Okay.
And I love my mom.
Okay.
I grew up to see reasons with him, though he was acting wrongly, maybe based on how he knew how to take care of his own children, because he doesn't have a father, he doesn't have a mother. He grew up in the hands of others. So I guess that is the way he knew how to take care of his own children. So I didn't really take the blame out on him. And I saw reasons when I grew up, because if not for the way he treated me, maybe I would have also gone wrongly. I don't hate him anymore. Then I did. I told him he was not my father, that he should take me to my father. Then. But now I know better.
That was it.
And I also thank God.
Yes.
Yeah?
That was why I asked you. Because you once said that before you can talk to him, you have to write it, put it there for him to see. So I asked because of that, to know if there is still something you're reserving, kind of reservation for him because of all that you've been through during your teenage stage.
No, I let everything go.
Okay.
After some years, I get to know his reasons, and he always tell me that I'm the first child, that whatever I do, that my siblings are going to look to me and do it. So he's been straight to me direct, so that I will behave well, so that my siblings will look at me and behave well.
Okay.
So I don't really have anything. I don't have anything against him. My heart is clear, my mind is clear, and I thank God I didn't end up with that guy, because maybe I would have been dead. He used to tell me then that if he gets married to me and he's going to work, he's going to lock me inside the house and take the key.
Serious?
He's coming back, he'll open it. That is how insecure he was, even with the covenant.
Yeah,
So,
I think that's the
so
right
I just
word.
thank God.
That's the right word, because the idea of covenant is born out of insecurity, feeling of insecurity and lack of trust. He wanted to use covenant to hold you down, and even after the covenant, he still did not believe you, that he started beating you.
Not. Yes.
And he just said that he said he's going to lock you inside after marriage.
He's going to lock me in, though. I will not go out. He's going to go to work, come back, and open the door when he's back.
He told
So
you
if
that.
he's not back in 2 days, 3 days, I'll be in the house.
You'll be indoor. He told you that.
Yeah, he told me. And everything, he said everything I need will be inside. but I'm not going to come out. He's just too insecure that he cannot stand another man looking at you or talking to you.
And you have
For
to
any
break your
reason.
SIM card once he sees any number, any strange number on your phone.
Yes.
All right, my sister, I thank God for you, for coming out of this, for not ending up with such a man. And I want to believe that by now, you must have learned a lot from what you've been through. And I believe also that, because for you to come up to tell us this story, I believe that you're already well informed about things like this. You are like an advocate.
Yes.
You can voice out to people around you. Don't stop talking about this. Don't stop talking to teenagers, talking to younger ones about this. Please, I want to thank you for opening up to us, because not everybody will come out to tell their stories. Not everyone. I know that you have already told us not to use your real voice and blur out your number. We are going to blur out your number and change your voice before publishing this story. And I want to thank you for sharing this story. And everyone listening to us, this is story time with House of the Sons Global. We accept stories like this wherever you are, all over the world. Call House of the Sons Global on the number on your screen. Tell us that story that you know that can change life. Tell us that story that you know that can transform the society. And we publish it, and people will listen to your story and learn from your story. Please, as you've listened to this story, if you know anyone who has been through this or who is going through this, please share this story to them. And if you're about to go through such a covenant, please, I am begging you, it is not the right thing to do. Every relationship should gain trust. Trust is very important. You don't have to do things like this for you to gain trust. You don't have to do things like this to prove to someone that you are trustworthy. Anyone with you who cannot trust you, who is feeling insecure because you are communicating with other people out there, because you go to work and maybe you are a public servant, if that person cannot trust you, you have no business staying with such a person. I know that a lot of people out there are already regretting things like this. Some are free from it, some are still not free from it. If you're not free from this, please take this number on the screen and contact me on WhatsApp, and we can actually communicate and find a way out of it. God can go a long way to help you. All right, thank you so much. My sister, I appreciate you for this moment, and we'll be pleased to have you next time to tell us another story, because you said you have other stories to share with us.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you for being here, for passing by to share your story with us. All right. We are signing out right now. You're on Story Time with House of the Sons Global, where we talk about relationship and marriage and family stories. Be part of this and tell us about that marriage story that can open people's eyes. Tell us about that relationship that you know that people can learn something from. Tell us about that family story that can help people to put their family in order. Do not be afraid. If you want to make your own story private, I got you covered. If you want to make it an open call, take this number on the screen and contact me on WhatsApp, and boom, you're here with us on Story Time with House of the Sons Global. If you don't want people to know that you're the one calling, we can change your voice from something like this
to something like this, and no one will know that you are the one calling.
We can as well blur your number that nobody will see your number. So, nothing is stopping you from being part of Story Time with House of the Sons Global. Remember, we take WhatsApp voice call and WhatsApp video call. And I want you to tell me what you think about this story on the comment section. And please share this video and help us to change life. Remember, I am waiting for your own call so that you can share your own story with us. Call me on this number. And don't forget, this is House of the Sons Global. Bye for now.